News out of the Pan-African Parliament in Midrand. Zimbabwe's chief fortune, Charumbira, has been announced as the new Pan-African Parliament President. He won with 162 votes, while 36 went for Malawi's Yeremiah Chihana. Newzroom Afrika's Tumaole Mohlaoli is live for us from Midrand with the latest tonight. Tumaole, quite a contest for an institution really that has been trying to wake up, revive itself after having slowed down operations under COVID-19.
Indeed, Kathy, COVID-19 effectively putting a halt to the Pan-African Parliament's operations, and the Pan-African Parliament is now eager to get back to the work that it's tasked to do. Pan-African parliamentarians are saying that, of course, the agenda at hand will be the recovery of the continent from the post-COVID era. Of course, the effects thereof have been quite detrimental to many economies right across the continent. But when it comes back to the issue of the elective process here, this has been also something that has been quite a bruising contest, and it's something that has always been agreed upon in terms of the regions when they put forward their preferred candidates. So the contest that erupted here at the Pan-African Parliament was something that was seen as a new development, and something that certainly was viewed upon with a bit of skepticism and a bit of concern. But now that the election results are out, it's something that's been welcomed. But before the election results even were out, I spoke to Chief Charumbira, and he had this to say about his prospects then. Mr. Charumbira, can we just get a word from you as you go in about your candidature? How are you going to take the process forward, please?
Can we do that after I'm elected?
After you're elected, are you confident you're going to get it?
Very confident.
What makes you so confident, sir?
I have the credentials for the job. I have what it takes to be a president of Pan-African Parliament.
And when you're president of Pan-African Parliament, what will you do to ensure that...
I'll be giving my manifesto just now. So just wait, and then we'll come back to... Yes.
Thank you very much for that. Of course, there we have it. That was Mr. Charumbira.
Tumaole, an incredible amount of work lies ahead for this organization in order for it to regain legitimacy, to have some level of authority as a voice, and at least one that can be trusted by citizens across this continent.
Indeed, and citizens across the continent, many are not even aware of what the Pan-African Parliament, rather, as a mandate and in terms of its operations is all about. And this is something that the new president will be tasked at changing and sensitizing the electorate or the various regions of the African continent about the importance of the Pan-African Parliament. But I want to bring in my colleague Hugo Ribatika just to give us an overview of the process. Hugo, going forward, what is next?
Well, currently what's happening, obviously, is that there's a lot of celebration, certainly from not just the Zimbabwean camp, but all of SADC, because I think it's phenomenal in that Africa has come together and spoken with one voice. Only yesterday, when the OAU Commission Chair opened the proceedings, Faki Mohammed, he pleaded with the African parliamentarians to vote accordingly and allow for that rotational system to be respected, even though it hasn't actually been ratified. And it's been clear from those 168 votes for Senator Charumbira, 36 against, and only the 11 abstentions, that we are moving, or certainly the Pan-African Parliament is moving in the right direction. What's currently happening now is that they're voting in the 4 vice presidents that will deputize Senator Charumbira over the next 2.5 years.
Right. And in terms of the previous presidency, the outgoing president of the Pan-African Parliament, there were quite a lot of complaints about operational matters there were a lot of complaints about allegations of corruption and maladministration of this important organ of the African Union. Do you think this is something that will be high up on the incumbent's mind as he comes in? And what will he do differently, do you think?
Well, he's come up with a multi-point plan on the things that he wants to take care of. And obviously, one of those things are the issues around maladministration. And he's a stickler for efficiency. He's a stickler for systems. And I think the entire continent, if not the world, will be watching what Senator Charumbira does over the next few years that he will be in office.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Hugo. We appreciate that. That was Hugo Ribatiga just giving us a view of what is the way forward for the incumbent, the newly elected President of the Pan-African Parliament. And in terms of his inaugural address, I must say, though, the media were effectively locked out of that particular process. Immediately after the election results were announced, we had anticipated that the cameras would be allowed in to catch that all-important inaugural address, but unfortunately there was a media blackout. In even the position that I am standing in right now, we had to sort of find our own vantage point just to give you the view of what is happening in the plenary there. However, back to the inaugural address of the incoming President of the Pan-African Parliament, another issue that has been an important one over the previous parliaments as well has been the silencing of the guns and also regional integration when it comes to trade and also free movement of peoples, particularly across the continent. With that, it's back to you in the studio.
All right, Tumaole Mohlaoli, let's leave it there for tonight. He's at the